Hi everyone, well it's that time of year when the wonderful Seville Oranges come into your local greengrocers, veg shop, whatever you want to call it. They only come out around Christmas time. You've got to grab them as quick as you can because when they're gone and you won't see them for another year. Don't have to use Seville Oranges, but I love Seville Oranges. They've got a really orangey, tangy taste to the marmalade, which is absolutely fantastic for me. So basically some oranges, some preserving sugar, which you can pretty much get from your local supermarket. I'm going to leave links below where I get all my stuff from. Also some jars as well to put the marmalade in when it's done, and some lemons. And without further ado, let's go and make some marmalade. One of the many things I love about little villages, look at that, little bakers. They even got a little butcher's, look, still got a little butchery shop. How about that? Absolutely fantastic. Little greengrocers, some fresh vegetables. Something I just spotted. Right. Look at that. Seville Oranges. Making marmalade. Amazing.
340.
Cheers. To begin with, it's always best to give your jars a good wash the day before and leave them to soak overnight with a couple of sterilising tablets. To prepare your oranges, I first of all like to give them a really good wash because you just don't know who's had their grubby paws all over them. Pour 2 litres of water into a fairly large saucepan. Cut your oranges in half and squeeze all the juice into a cooking pot. Put what's left of the orange in the pot as well. Using a tablespoon, after you've squeezed 3 of the oranges, scrape the insides, the pith and everything else and the seeds and everything, and put that all in the pot, but save the skins because we're going to use them later. Put the pot on the stove and bring it to the boil. Then turn it down to electric mark 3 and let it simmer for 2 hours. Once the juices and the orange bits have been simmering away for about an hour and a half, grab a potato masher and just give them a little push, a little squeeze, just to squeeze out any excess juice that might still be inside them. Add the other half litre of water to the pot. Using a sharp knife, cut the skins of the 3 orange peels you saved from earlier. You don't specifically have to use all 3 of them. It depends how chunky you want your marmalade. Try and cut them as thin as possible. Put them on the stove, bring them to the boil, and then turn it right down and let them simmer for at least an hour and a half.
Two hours later.
After the juices and peels have been simmering for a good 2 hours, take the pot off the stove and strain them. Make sure you squeeze all the juice out as much as you can. Keep all the interns, the bits, the piths and the skins, and put them in a separate pot. Once the rinds have been simmering for at least an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes, take them off the stove and pour everything into the pot that you've just strained all the juice into. If your juice comes out to say 1.5 litres, then you need to add an extra half litre of water, but don't put the water straight into the juice. What you want to do is take a half litre of water and put it in the pot with all those leftovers, the peels and the interns that you scraped out of the sieve, and mix the water with that and put that on the stove and bring that to the boil. Leave the pot to simmer away for about 10 minutes and then strain all the juice out and mix all the juices together. Altogether you will need 2 litres of juice. This is probably one of the most important parts of getting the right set on your marmalade, using the correct amount of sugar. Too much sugar and you're going to end up with a solid mess. Too little sugar and you're going to end up with a runny marmalade that is pretty much unspreadable. I find that 910 grams to every litre of juice works out absolutely perfect. Yes, I know you're probably saying, wow, that is a hell of a lot of sugar. Well, yes, it is. And the reason being, if you try some of the juice when you squeeze those Seville oranges, or even bite into a Seville orange, you will know that they are nothing like your normal oranges. They are really sour, really bitter, and pretty much unedible. So as I've got 2 litres of juice, I will be using 1 kilo 820 grams of sugar. Pour the sugar into the pot and let it simmer for at least 10 to 20 minutes, giving it a good stir all the time. You've got to make sure all this sugar dissolves, and the way to test that is use a wooden spoon. Just give it a stir, bring the spoon out and see if there's any sugar crystals left on the spoon. If it's nice and smooth, you're good to go. When the sugar is all completely dissolved, you need to turn the heat right up because you need to bring this juice to a boil. It's called a rolling boil. As soon as it starts boiling, put a timer on it, 20 minutes. And as soon as that 20 minutes is up, take it off the stove and put it somewhere cool. Allow your marmalade to settle for about 10-15 minutes and then get a cold plate. Using a tablespoon, get some of the marmalade, put it on the plate and then run your finger through it. You'll find it will make sort of a path. If you see it makes a path going through the marmalade and it doesn't come back together too quickly, then you're good to go. If you find when you run your finger through the marmalade you don't get a path, or you get a very quick path, it just comes back together again, then it's not quite ready. You need to put it back on the stove and boil it again for about another 5 minutes, then take it off and try again. Just be careful not to overboil your marmalade, because the sugar will start to caramelise. You'll end up with like a brownie coloured marmalade instead of that lovely light golden yellow marmalade colour. And there you have it. Your marmalade is ready. Leave it for a couple of hours and then start putting it in the jars. Once it's in the jars, leave it again for another 24 hours and voila, hey presto, you have got yourself some homemade Seville orange marmalade. Happy days. Beautiful. Let's have a look at this. Put a bit of paper in the top to help it seal. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Has it set? That is definitely set. Time for the taste. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's just like the real thing. I'm not going to cover the whole toast. I'm going to just put a little bit on the edge and go for it. Go for it. Go for glory. All right. Let's not be an animal, eh? Let's do the job properly. Dad always said, do a job properly or don't bother. Look at that. You know what? There are some times in life where I am so proud of myself, and this is definitely one of those moments. Oh my giddy on. That is amazing. Best I've ever tasted. Oh. 100% wow factor. Definitely make some of this at home. Whilst we've got Seville oranges in your local veg shop, pick some up, bit of sugar, there you go. So simple, so easy. Chef Travels, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully see you on the next one. Cheers.